You're feeling good, you're feeling great, and the gym becomes this incredible activity. It's like eating candy floss or going for a roller coaster or bathing in ice cream or having sex. Simon Miller, the bald a-hole here, and we're focusing on supplements today, mostly because I did that video about caffeine people liked, then we did creatine and people really liked it, so I thought, well, let's just work through the major fitness supplement brand thingamajigs, and hopefully I can help you out. If not, it doesn't matter. You may already be set in your ways, and trust me, I support you in everything you do, unless you're doing anything illegal. If you're doing anything illegal, I don't support you, and I'm phoning the police. So you better go on the run. But yeah, anyway, look, if you're talking about sort of the best supplements in the gym, whey protein's always number one, then there's creatine, and then sniffing around in third place is pre-workout. Pre-workout may as well be like Pandora's box, or the what they called, the cartoon. Whoa, and you can be fine, the City of Gold. Do you remember City of Gold? That's what, I can't believe I just did that. That is what pre-workout are like. It is like the cities of gold. I have somewhat of a love-hate relationship with the stuff, which actually hopefully puts me in a kind of a decent position to try and tell you the good and to try and tell you the bad. And because we're always positive Pete's on this channel, we start with 4 good. The first one, of course, is that it makes you feel awesome. It gives you a ton of energy. It gives you focus. It gives you stamina. And it gives you motivation. If you have never trained with pre-workout before, and then you introduce it, all of a sudden you will feel like Superman, the Hulk, Captain America, Batman, and the Joker, because there's a little bit of villainous in there, all thrown into one. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, and it's kind of addictive too. Maybe I should have put that in the bad ones, but I haven't, because you start to think, well, how the hell am I ever going to train again without this? Because I've just walked out of that gym not only looking bigger, because it will give you a good pump too, but I've lifted more, and I lifted more intensely, because that's what it does. That's what it does. It gets in your system and it basically jacks you up for around about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Now, it used to be so potent that some of this stuff actually killed people. Mother Hubbard's falling all over the place, but thankfully the government came in, they regulated it a little bit more, and now there's less risk of doing that. But if you are trying to find a way to get past the plateau and you haven't stimulated yourself yet, you basically can go into a shop or on the internet and buy some legal drugs. That is honestly how I would compare it if you've never tried it before. And obviously it's like anything that you do, like if you drink loads of coffee, eventually the power and the effect wears off, but you still get a little something. But that's honestly, if somebody said to me, Simon, I'm really, really struggling to break a plateau and my motivation is gone, or I don't know, I'd have to talk to them. But a suggestion that I would certainly have to a certain point, I have to think about it and hear what they said first, but it would be pre-workout. Like there's a reason it's so popular, and it's not just that it makes you better in the gym, it makes you feel good. Which ties into the next point, is that it makes going to the gym more fun. Let's not pretend otherwise. Of course it does. You leave your house feeling a bit tired from the day, and you had work, and your boss Dave was like, you're crap at your job. You're like, yeah, no, I'm crap at my job. I don't care. I just want to do bicep curls. And by the time you get to the fitness palace, you're like, oh my gosh, I am just ready to go. And you put your headphones in and your music is blaring, and even though everyone's looking at you because you're pacing around the stage, you don't care because you're just feeling so good. You're feeling good. You're feeling great. And the gym becomes this incredible activity. It's like eating candy floss or going for a roller coaster or bathing in ice cream or having sex. That's what pre-workout is like. It turns the gym, which of course sometimes can be a bit of a downer. No one goes into the gym 100% of the time being all like, I can't wait for my workout. I mean, it's 99% of the time, but it takes those 1% of occasions and it completely turns them on your head. Also, you can find some that taste real nice. The next point is that most of them, I mean, I haven't done a study, so I'm sure you can find ones that don't, but most of them, I believe, have nitric oxide in it. And this kind of ties into everything else. Nitric oxide will essentially widen your blood vessels. I mean, this is layman's terms, but it will widen your blood vessels. And what that would allow is more oxygen gets to your muscles. And that's what you need. The bigger you are, the lower your stamina is going to be unless you train your body to get oxygen to the muscles. That's why super big guys sort of, they can't do long distance running. So like, oh, because they need more oxygen, because they need to survive, they need to get it to their muscles too. So if you are a bigger dude, or if you're a smaller dude, it doesn't really matter. You're going to increase that activity. I'm trying to think of words that don't sound too sciencey, because that's not what this channel is all about. I think that's going to help you massively. It's going to help you lift more, and it's just going to push you when maybe you would start fatiguing otherwise. Now, I do want to caveat by saying you don't have to get nitric oxide through a pre-workout. I don't. I get it through beetroots. And what I would actually suggest you do is try one of these like sort of beetroot shot drinks that you can get. I much prefer them for pre-workout, but that's not what we're going to talk about here. Point is, if you don't want to go for the chemically stuff, there are natural stuff, which I would argue are even better. But what do I know, bald asshole? And finally, is that they all have amino acids in them. So, that's going to help muscle recovery. Again, minimal percentages, but it is going to help muscle recovery. And if you're not taking a branch chain amino acid from a different supplement, or, you just want pre-workout more, it's not a bad way to save some money. Obviously, there'll be more amino acids in a specific amino acid supplement, but it's pretty good knowing that you can spend 30 quid, 20 quid, whatever it's going to be. You've got your pre-workout, you've got your amino acids. It's going to give you a tiny boost in the gym as well, but it's mostly going to be the caffeine that does that. So I will say, if you haven't seen my video about caffeine, go and watch that too, because it will kind of double up with this a little bit. But overall, I'm not crapping on pre-workout. I think it certainly has a place. However, the first of the bad is that there is a crash. Again, we're just repeating everything we said about caffeine, but it's the same thing. If you overstimulate your body, it has to find a way to balance things out. And what it will do is it will send you the other way as it essentially hits reset, right? That's what it does. And my great example that I always use is that there is a term called stim dick. Type it into Google, be careful, not suitable for work. But yeah, you overstimulate so much that you can't get erection because your body can't get the blood down there because it's just basically trying to calm itself down. It's like, well, look, you just hit me with this massive dose of power. I can't give you more power now. We are in downtime. It's essentially gone to sleep when you don't want. So do not expect, this doesn't happen to everybody, but it can happen. And you never see people in adverts doing this. Imagine that. Buy this pre-workout, have the best gym session ever, and then fail to get an erection and fall asleep. You're going to be less likely to purchase the pre-workout, I would suppose. So try and find one that works for you. Don't always go with what it says on the back of the box, like take 4 scoops. And you look at that's like 1,200 milligrams of caffeine. You're like, what's going on? Just take 1 scoop for now. Test your tolerance. That's the best thing. Test your tolerance. Maybe 1 is enough for you and you're still buzzed. You don't need to jump to 2. Also, it will last longer, so you're saving cash. Next up is that, again, mostly because of the caffeine, it is a diuretic, right? So if you don't make sure you compensate by drinking in more water, you can get massively dehydrated, which is the last thing you want in the gym. In fact, you could spend your entire gym session pissing all your water out, and then by the end you're like, oh, I'm just so tired, I'm so worn out. Probably because 1, you're overstimulated, but 2, you need to get some water in. So I would always say, I'm not talking about drink 10 liters more because you had some pre-workout, but maybe just introduce a little bit more H2O, as they say, if you're going to go on pre-workout, because there's no point kicking your own ass. Next up is that there are side effects, and you may like this side effect and you may not like this side effects, but anytime I know someone that's taken pre-workout without doing any research, they freak out because they don't know what's going on. Because your skin can go all tingly, right? It can tingle up your skin. You think, oh my gosh, am I allergic to this? You're not. It's just your body responding to it. I've talked about it before. Pre-workout gives me mad spots. It just does. It breaks them out. I'm going to assume because it raises my cortisol levels. And cortisol level is your stress hormone. Obviously, the more stressed you are, the more your body's not operating properly and your skin can flare out. That's what happens to me. And you can also get adrenal fatigue, which basically means you exhaust your adrenal glands. So you are going to be a bit tired and maybe even a little bit depressed. Now, there's a whole discussion about if that's even a thing, adrenal fatigue. Well, some people say that it is, and I'm not going to crap all over them because I don't think it's fair. And I can certainly see why that would happen. If you overstimulate anything, we've talked about it a minute ago. So you got to be careful with this stuff, right? It's not just because you can buy it on a shelf doesn't mean you should be guzzling it down like it's a milkshake or something like that. Or you shouldn't be guzzling milkshakes down ever because it's got a load of calories in it. But just take your time with it, right? And if you really don't feel like you're responding well to it, it's not going to make a massive difference when it comes to building muscle and gains. Yes, it is absolutely going to give you a boost in the gym, and the more intense you can train, the better you'll be. But as long as you're being consistent and eating well and training as hard as you can without it, you're going to be fine. And finally, which ties into that point, no one actually looks what's in the damn stuff. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. You go by the name, or you go by the flavor, or you saw a review on YouTube. All you have to do before you buy it is flip it over, go through all the ingredients, and just type it into Google. And make sure there's nothing in there that doesn't kind of scare the crap out of you. I have one pre-workout that I bought a long time ago, and I keep to show people, that has 750 milligrams of caffeine in it. That should not be legal in my point of view. And I know I'm an absolute chump. Who cares about me? But it is nuts. Also tastes like ass. It's not nice at all. It's called like gummy bears. And you drink it. It doesn't taste like gummy bears. It tastes like death bears. It tastes like foot bears. It tastes like my flipping toe. My big toe, the worst one. So nobody wants that. So just make sure you know what... You wouldn't... If I gave you a magic drink that didn't have a label and I went drink it, you go, what's in it? Don't worry about it. Well, I'm not going to drink it unless you tell me what's in it. Just drink it. And then I go, but you got to give me 30 quid first. You'd be like, absolutely not. You'd want to know what is in it unless you're like a daredevil, but I also think you're a little bit stupid. So do the same with this. You have to take it with a pinch of salt because there's still 99% believe companies don't actually reveal everything they're putting in their products. I mean, they should, but they don't, but whatever. Just make sure you know what's going into your system. Just because you can buy it doesn't mean it's healthy. And there you go, pre-workout done in the box. 4 good things, 4 bad things. I mean, we'll do amino acids, intra-workout, and other stuff. But again, there's a comments there. If I'm not thinking about anything really obvious, let me know and we can chat about it. Otherwise, like the video, share the video, smash the subscribe button, hit the bell, ding, ding. Be notified when more videos go up. There'll be another video on screen right now, probably the caffeine one, so make sure you check that too. Patreon.com/Simon316, Simon316 on Instagram and Twitter, SimonMiller.BigCartel.com. I have pimped my wares out to you enough. Thank you for watching. See you soon.